We left off 192. We left off, he says, you see the Chesed Hashem, that Hashem gives the ability for a parent to tolerate a child, raising a child from infanthood into adulthood, and caring, which a third party wouldn't be able to put up with it. There's a special attachment and love between a parent and the child, because otherwise the parent would not be able to raise the child properly. Besides, the child wouldn't develop normally. Just read a study that they have these children that are raised in these institutions without parents, that even mentally, there's something that if a parent shows love for an infant, from infant onward, it activates certain chemicals in the brain, and that allows the intelligence of the child. Now, I'm not only talking about the emotional aspect of the child, to develop. It activates certain chemicals, which has relevance to the ultimate development of intelligence. Okay. Today they have all this. When a child is born, they put the child on the mother, because that's the bonding. And then when the child gets home, they have a nanny. The parents are out 6 days a week, and they see the kid on the weekend. But when the child is born, it's important for the child to bond with the mother. You understand? That's today's generation. Okay. The child begins seeing, hearing. Second paragraph from 192. There's a chen and there's a ches rachmim in the hearts of the parents. Because otherwise, raising the child is too burdensome. And they're more concerned for the child regarding feeding him and giving him to drink. And it's considered to them it's their pleasure. It comes with a lightness. All the difficulty, all the effort. Raising, from washing, chitul means changing the child, cleaning the child. And to try to protect the child from any harm, which the child cannot protect himself. What's interesting, there's a Siporno in this week's parsha. The Jews, they gave Moshe a hard time continuously throughout the 40-year period. So Hashem says, Moshe says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, something. Either have others share the burden with me. He says, I'm like a nursemaid. I've taken care of them. It's reached a point. Either let others share the burden with me or take me. Take me out of here. I want over. So Hashem says, take 70 elders. I will transfer the spirit from you onto the 70 elders. So the Siforno says something phenomenal. Every child knows you have different siblings. Everybody has their own ideas. No two people are exactly alike. They see things differently. So they see things differently. The parents definitely see things differently. So why is the child receptive to the direction of the parent? And the child's willing to consider the position of the parent, although he disagrees. Why? Because one thing the child knows, the parent's love is unswerving, and everything the parent does is truly because the interest is in the child. Yeah, this is what the Siforno writes. Therefore, the child is willing to submit and negate his own position and consider the parent because he knows the parent only wants what's best for him. This is the Siforno. So Moshe Rabbeinu would say like this: but if the Jews suspect me that I have an ulterior motive, I'm no longer an effective leader. Leadership is the same thing. If the people know that my interest is only them, so then, although they don't understand, they accept my position. But if they question me and they suspect me that I have an agenda, that I have an ulterior motive, I'm not an effective leader any longer. If that's the case, might as well take me. Therefore, have others share the burden. Maybe through that, they'll appreciate it's for them, it's not the agenda of the leader. That's a seforno. So it comes out, it has tremendous value. If a child understands, despite the difficulty, what my parents put up with, a third party would not put up with. And because of that, that's part of the reason why the child will accept the mentoring of a parent and won't accept the mentoring of a third party. Right? In terms of values, or many, many things. It's not only by osmosis. Because the child began to be mentored when he was unintelligible. He wasn't intelligent yet. So the whole idea is the relationship. We're talking about what child is a good child. But a good child accepts the direction of a parent, not the third party. Because the child, in his essence, knows the parent only wants what's best for me. But it has to do with this. Why? Because Hashem gave a special chen, chesed, rachmim in the hearts of the parents to put up with things which nobody else would put up with. Raising and tolerating many things, and to want for the child more than they want for themselves. Put it this way. The Gemara says that in Sanhedrin, we learned this. This is not mechelik. It says a magadol yosem tov beso tzkil yodo. The Torah. It says that we find in last week's parsha. It speaks about the children of Moshe and Aaron, and it only mentions Aaron's children. So Rashi cites the Gemara Sanhedrin. From here we learn kol lami ben chaviro Torah. You teach Torah to the son of a fellow Jew. It's kilu yoldo. It's as if you actually parented that child, as if you sired that child. So you could hear it there, you understand. Because there's that interaction. Firstly, you develop him. A Rebbe also tolerates a Talmud. But the Rebbe has a sense of really building that. When you mentor someone and the person's receptive to your mentoring, and you see him developing, you're able to identify that person with yourself. I mean, it's similar to a child. What about if you adopt a child? Since Megadol Yosem Topes, it's much more difficult. It also says Kilu Yoldim. It's as if you actually sired him. You gave birth to that child. But there's no question. Adopted parents believe. I mean, the relationship is almost like a child. They see, especially if they adopt him when they're from infanthood. Definitely, there's no question.
The Yiddish is still sent that message to that before.
It's not simple.
So others explains that the children of Moshe are not mentioned in the deficiency.
Separate discussion. Separate discussion. But not because she raised Moshe. Not because she raised Moshe. I mean, she could have drowned him, or have him die, but that's not what she's praised. She's praised because she's Basko, she's Basya, because she converted. That immersion in the Nile was a conversion, and that's why she did not kill him. Yeah, the Gemara Megillah. That's why she was Basko. She's the daughter of God. Pharaoh's daughter. So because she was at that level of understanding, like I told the story, it says she opened the basket, she saw something special. It's what she saw the Shekhinah. You know what it means to be able to see the Shekhinah? I told over the story, with the Chovot when he was 17 years old. No joking.
No.
Okay. The Chovot his Rebbe was Reb Nochem Baradno. Reb Nochem Baradno was the shamus in the shul in this little village where the Chovot was raised. He was 17 years old. It was before Rabbi. And every night after Ma'ariv, Nochem Baradno was the shamus, put away the svarim, the sidurim, that straighten up the shul, close the shades, lock the door, And nobody knew what was going on. Nobody even entered the mind there was something. Chovot Chaim, at the age of 16, he had a sense he's somebody special. And when he closes up the shul, he does something there. So the Chovot Chaim felt he's going to hide between the oven and the pillar of the shul. And will be unnoticed. Let's see what's going to happen. So he closes up the shop, whatever happens over there, the shul, and he waits to see. All of a sudden, Nachum Rabba goes to the bima, and he puts some kind of sefer, starts learning. All of a sudden, the shul starts glowing. Like there's a fire going in the shul. See, the whole shul is illuminated. The darkness is illuminated. And he knows immediately. He's one of the 11 tzaddikim, one of the 36 hidden tzaddikim. He's a holy man. The shul is radiating holiness. And he immediately comes out. Nachum Rabba was taken aback. Somebody, he was found out who he is. I want to be your Talmud. I want you to be my Rebbe. And he accepted the Chovot Chaim to be his Talmud. And he considered Chovot Chaim had a picture in his house. It was the picture of Nachum Rabba. That was one of the pictures he had. That was his Rebbe. So Rabbi Aaron Kotler, heard the story. He says, I'm not amazed that when Nachum Rabba studied the Kabbalah, that the room illuminated and radiated. What I'm amazed was that the Chovot Chaim, at the age of 16, was able to see that illumination. That's what I'm amazed. So I'm saying, that the Bas Paro, that she saved Moshe is one thing, but that she was privy to see the Shechina, what does that tell you about who she is? So that means she just wasn't an ordinary woman. Okay, let's go a little further.
Did she actually immerse herself in the Nile?
Well, I don't have to tell. That's the puzzle. That's the puzzle. She immersed herself in the Nile. But the question is, why did she immerse herself in the Nile? Right, that's the Gemara. Okay. Okay. Then the child goes from childhood into adolescence. Now it becomes a little more complicated. Okay, raising the child. And they don't become yakutsu. They don't become intolerant, disgusted with it. A child never overstays his welcome. There's a Gemara quotes a pasuk where from Mishlei that the best friend can overstay his welcome. You have to understand, because it says over there regarding when you come to bring your korbanos to the chotzer, to the courtyard, don't come too often. Hashem says, don't bring me your sin offerings. Better don't sin. You understand? Don't come too often. But a child, David HaMelech, because it says that David, Hashem welcomed him in his courtyard always. Shlomo says, don't come that too often. Because Shlomo brought endless korbanos. You don't have to come that often. Your father is coming, I want him always to be there. Why? Because David was a whole different level. David was what was Eved Hashem. So a child can never overstay his welcome. Right? Kosher like Preidaschem, Shmini Atzeres, the whole idea, we're there 7 days. Hashem says, stay an extra day. Because we're bonning. We're children to Hashem, stay an extra day. The Goyim, let them go already. We've had enough of them, let them go. So that's, even the best friend, you can overstay your welcome. But again, that's part of the miracle, the chesed that Hashem gives the parent, that a parent always has the capacity to deal with all the issues of a child. This is a good point. He says they don't become angry because of his unlimited needs, his abundant needs, and the limited amount of appreciation that the child has. Could you imagine? Mother puts up with a child, and the child doesn't even appreciate it. Father has greater difficulty with this. A mother can put up with it naturally. Mashem sovlim, bitorcho v'sipuka maso, what they put up with, the effort they have to sustain him, what they have to carry him. Ach tigdal hadogav v'imom, just to the contrary, they worry about. Even to great, they worry more. As he gets older, the worry becomes greater, but it's okay. Ach yagid mi abachrus, kvar lomad l'daber al seder v'dirug. He speaks properly. He's matured. He's already has wisdom. He has discretion. We'll continue.
But he told the story that his mom thought he learned all night, and some young maid would bring him like a coffee or drink every night. And one night she had to be 42.
That was Eliyahu Novi. Eliyahu Novi.
So it reminded me of the Bas Pala story where she saw the Shekhinah.
It's a different level. Shekhinah and Eliyahu, two different levels. You don't need to see the Shekhinah. It's a whole different level. That was the Rashash, Reb Shlomo Sharabi. Don't know. She had a special neshama. Why was Russo special? She had a special neshama. Read the Orach Chaim.